Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's comic book review. Moving away from Marvel and my confliction of Brian Michael Bendis' shit, and the only two good comics this week being Fantastic Four and Amazing Spider-Man. Praying that Amazing Spider-Man stays good now that Brian Michael Bendis has taken his hands off of Amazing Spider-Man. Moving into one comic from Image, a comic that everyone except one person, my friend Yuli, told me not to get. The Walking Dead 79. Now, I told you guys that I was going to continue with this, and a lot of people, I've gotten several people that said, Chris, don't jump, just stop. Don't buy any more issues. Buy the old trade paperbacks, and then jump into it. You got to understand something. First of all, we are 27 days away from Christmas. This is the last Sunday in November. Then we go into December. I got to buy Christmas presents for people. I got to worry about stuff for Christmas. I don't have the extra money to go off and buy 12 trade paperbacks to catch myself up on the issues now. I'm going to just continue buying the series, the issues out of the current issues, catch myself up as time goes on with graphic novels after the holiday season. Starting January, I'll have some extra money again. I'll start making extra money again from my job. And that's when I'll go back and start buying those old the old trade paperbacks and catch myself up from beginning to now. But, everybody's like, you can't jump on now. You don't know what's going on. People jump into shows. I've jumped into hairier situations than this. Yes, I know it's one huge epic. All 79 episodes go into each other. There's no jump on point where you can just grab an issue and just go. But you know what? If the books have divided the storylines up, then I'm damn sure that they can divide that when this goes into its next story, which is issue 80, No Way Out. That's when the new story arc starts. Which really is here. It really starts here. It says 80s when it really starts, but I think this is like an epilogue, like a lead-in. The next graphic novel is going to start here. You can jump into anything, okay? Yeah, I don't know what's going on per se, like completely what's going on. I don't know most of the characters at the moment. You get to know them. As the book progresses, you learn about the character anyway. So what? I will catch up on this, don't get me wrong. You will be seeing the trade paperbacks or the hardcovers or that huge compilation of like the first 4 or 5 books, that huge book. However I do it, I will get it. Believe me, Christmas is coming. It's on my Christmas list. I know somebody might get it for me. Maybe Mike will get it for me. Maybe somebody from my family will get it for me. If not, after the holiday season, I'm not going to make it a priority, but if I have the extra money, I will go out of my way to, because I like Walking Dead. It got an award and everything. So I'm going to continue reviewing the books, because I'm not going to get even further behind by not buying these, because they don't realize. They're saying don't buy this because I won't understand. But if I don't get the issues, then I'm going to have to get even more trade paperbacks in the future. Exactly. This way, I'm at least caught. By the time I start reading and I catch up with the trade paperbacks, I'll know where I'm up to and beyond.
And it's easy to catch up once you know what's going on now.
Exactly.
It's even easier.
I'll catch up. I'll get the trade paperbacks up to this story arc. And then when I catch up through the trade paperbacks to here, this point, I'll already know what happens next and all the way through the current day. So anyway, I'm going to review this. Anyway, it's a great book. You can see that there is tension in the society. Douglas, who was the head of the society, is showing doubt. He's scared of dying. His wife was just killed. Of course, I don't know how because I didn't get the past story. So I don't know how she was killed, but she was killed. And basically, the gunshots alerted zombies, and zombies are starting to show up at the front gate. And they go out in groups and they start taking out all the zombies, killing all the zombies. And then all of a sudden, Andrea shoots her gun off for an emergency. It's obviously an emergency. It's an alert. So they stop shooting the zombies and everything. And I'll tell you the truth. I love how they allow cursing in Image. Because the last panel, the last few words that they say is a guy called
neat
"fuck
when
me."
you're in a zombie game. I mean, I've seen zombies.
So they stop, and everybody runs to see what the problem is. They run back inside, and this is what they see inside.
The zombie apocalypse.
The zombies somehow have gotten into the community. They've gotten past the gate. That somehow have gotten in, and that all leads to what this is saying: No Way Out. Next issue in January. No, in December. This is still November. The next issue for next month. I like it. I think it's awesome. I can't wait for the next issue. I don't care if I really am completely caught up or not. I like it. I'll continue to buy it. And when I get the chance, I will catch up in trade paperbacks. And even if it takes me a year, eventually I will catch up. It's only a matter of time. Believe me.
As
I'm
long as
sure the trade paperbacks aren't going
as long as you're
anywhere.
enjoying what you're reading now.
Exactly. Moving into DC, starting off with the weakest two link. Well, the weakest link-ish. Action Comics with Lex Luthor. I did some research, and I found out that Lex Luthor will only be starring in Action Comics from 890 all the way through to 899. 899 will end Lex Luthor's Black Ring journey thing, and hopefully, with the end of that story, Superman will come back. Now, I read a reviewer, and this is how I found out that the Lex Luthor story is only until 899. A reviewer said nobody's missing Superman. Yeah, the reason nobody's missing Superman is because he's too busy doing Grounded. Which, by the way, let's just walk away from this for a second, because this wasn't really that good. I'll say that, and that's it, because I skimmed this too. J. Michael Straczynski will no longer be doing Grounded. As of issue 705, I believe, I don't know, it was in the comic book news. As of 705, J. Mike Straczynski will be leaving Superman, and also he will be leaving Wonder Woman, but I haven't been reading Wonder Woman, so I don't know what issue number he'll be leaving there. But he's leaving Superman, and the last two parts of the Grounded arc are going to be written by two different writers, and he's going to be working on the sequel to Superman Earth 1. So there is a definite sequel to Superman Earth 1, because Superman Earth 1, Book 1, did amazing. So now they're going to make a sequel, Earth 1, number 2. So he's leaving the story arc that he started. So Superman Grounded is going to end with two different writers. He's leaving his ideas, basically, and he's telling the writers where the story is supposed to end, and now the writer's going to do it from their standpoint.
It's going to kind of be like a new story when you think
Yeah,
of
so
it.
he's leaving. So you got to know for a fact that after Grounded, I'm praying I'm right when I say this, but Superman's probably going to go back to Metropolis. And the stories will continue, and that's when Action Comics... As a matter of fact, Grounded is going to end when Action Comics 899 comes about. Around the same time. So I'm praying that since Grounded's ending and Superman's going back to Metropolis, that's when Action Comics, Lex Luthor will end, and Lex Luthor will leave, and it'll be back to Action Comics with Superman. Praying, fingers crossed, God please. Because I can't stand this story. I don't care what anybody at CBR says. This Lex Luthor story is completely useless. I'm not interested in the Lex Luthor story. I didn't even like Lex Luthor Man of Steel. The only reason I got it was it looked like an interesting mini. This is way back in the early 2000s, when it was around 2001, I believe, maybe a little later. This story's not interesting at all. Lex Luthor wants to get the power of the Black Rings. He's willing to do whatever it takes, and he thinks that he was brought back from death because he's being watched by the superiors because something huge is going to happen. Anyway, starting next month, there's going to be a crossover between Action Comics and Secret Six, and I'll show you why. The Jimmy Olsen follow-up story was really good. He planned to bore the aliens to death, and it worked. And now Lois shows up in the last page of the Jimmy Olsen thing and says, we got to find you a new girlfriend because Chloe is just, yeah. So anyway, moving along. The Secret Six show up in the last page of the actual story. So Action and Secret Six will be crossing over with each other next month. So I will be getting Action as well as Secret Six because, you know, you got to continue, you got to get both stories. As a matter of fact, I don't know if it's next month or if it's starting in the new year. I believe it's in the new year. I believe it's in January or February, maybe December. Teen Titans and Red Robin are having a crossover also. So Red Robin, I'll be getting Red Robin again when he crosses over with Teen Titans. But with DC dropping their prices, I might jump back into Red Robin anyway because I did like it. It was okay. The reason I dropped it was because I was getting everything else. So I might jump back into Red Robin, guys. So that's one comic you might be seeing again on my reviews.
It was cool. I never really found Lex Luthor.
It was good, no.
Either, though. I don't know.
I can't wait for $8.99 just so that this story arc will end. No offense. This is disturbing. Now, you know the Lois Lane in this issue is a robot because it's been made known. Seeing Lex Luthor waking up next to a Lois Lane robot kind of creeps me out.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Eerie.
Yeah. You know she's a robot and Lex is sleeping with her. kind of warped
Why?
and
Yeah,
twisted
doesn't make,
and
doesn't make
creepy
sense.
all
I'm
at
not
the
even
same
gonna ask
time.
why.
It's kind of warped and creepy. And really, I spent 10 minutes talking about 2 comics? Damn.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, because I was explaining myself with Walking Dead, and then I started talking about Superman. Anyway, for those of you who didn't get action because of Lex Luthor, wait till $8.99. Let $8.99 pass. When 900 comes out, please let it be back to Superman and no more Lex Luthor stories. Anyway, come back for the final part of this comic review. We have 3 comic books left. We have the comic of the week for DC and 2 others. See you guys in the next part.